Hey everyone, welcome back. And today I'm going to be doing what if Latvia decides to form an empire. So, in the Baltics, Latvia decides to go imperial. And then what they decide to do now is that they would wanted to invade or try to conquer their neighboring countries. So, they declare war on Lithuania. And then they're probably about the same strength. So I'm gonna give them a more buff, where they could take on their opponents. So, what they would do first is that they would start the invasion as a surprise, and then once Lithuania is fully mobilized, it's halted, and then slowly advancing towards their capital. But before they could do anything, their capital falls, and then eventually they're out. So let's look at the peace treaty. Here's the peace treaty. We see full annexation of Lithuania. So Latvia decides to do the same in the north and invade Estonia. So with Estonia being unprepared, Latvia does their invasion, and now whenever they're mobilized, their capital is already fallen, leaving the Estonian islands, and now they're gone. So let's look at the peace treaty. Here's the peace treaty. We see the full annexation of Estonia. So, with being like this, they decide that they would need more territory, but they're also the weakest. So they go over to Germany and ask them to take over Poland. And then they accept, declaring war on Poland. So, with Germany advancing into Poland, the majority of the Polish troops are fighting with the Germans, but they do manage to take over their coastline, and then soon they are able to kind of threaten Warsaw. So, with the Latvians storming in with ease, since there's barely any Polish troops in their way. So, they come into the south, the Germans in the north. The Latvians are able to capture Warsaw, and then soon the Germans meet them. And then soon Poland surrenders. So let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. We see Latvia taking the eastern Poland, while Germany taking the territories from Poland from the German Empire. So what they decide to do next is that they will want to access this sea. So what they would do is declare war on Slovakia and Hungary. So with the new manpower of Poland, they are able to storm in there very easily, soon taking over all of Slovakia, making them surrender, and then soon already taking Budapest. So with Budapest already captured, Hungary has no choice but to surrender. So let's look at the peace treaty. Here's the peace treaty. We see the full annexation of Slovakia and Hungary. So what they decide to do next is to invade Slovenia, Croatia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina at the same time. So with the invasion of Slovenia and Croatia, soon with Croatia starting to fall, Slovenia surrenders, and then cutting Croatia into two. Now it's just the bottom part, and then soon the Bosnia gets invaded, soon making the Serbians join, and then which makes Kosovo and Montenegro and Albania join the war. So with them three using no time and starting the invasion, they are able to do a big invasion into Serbia, since most of the Serbians are fighting in the north. And then soon they're threatening Belgrade. And then with this, most of the Serbian army here, they are able to liberate some of Bosnia and Herzegovina, all of them, and then a little bit of Croatia. So with that happening, these three countries, Kosovo, Montenegro, and Albania, they are able to capture Belgrade, and then soon the Serbians coming back, but they surrender. And then soon again, Croatia falls, and then Bosnia falls. So let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. We see that Slovenia, Croatia, and Bosnia got fully annexed by Latvia, and then in Serbia, Kosovo, Montenegro, and Albania unite into one and annex all of Serbia. So, with now this access to the sea, here's the empire, and then what they decide to do next is again invade these countries. They decide to invade. I guess this is now Albania. So, with them declaring war on Albania, they just storm in, and then with Albania's very tired army, they cut them off, and then soon taking over their capital, and then their homeland falls. And then right then and there, they surrender. And then since they're there, might as well declare war on North Macedonia and Bulgaria. So, with Bulgaria not as strong, North Macedonia already falls, soon threatening their capital, and then their capital falls. And then soon, Bulgaria sues for peace. So let's look at the peace treaty. So here we see full annexation of Albania, North Macedonia, and Bulgaria. So, with Latvia now accessing the Black Sea, we see that they're fully, not fully, but have a good part of Romania surrounded. So with that, they declare war, and then soon, starting the invasion, Bucharest falls, and then they surrender. And then they go over to Moldova, saying that they should surrender before they start the invasion. Moldova thinks they're bluffing, declare war, never mind, they surrender. So let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. We see Romania and Moldova being fully annexed. So, what did they set to do next is to invade Belarus to secure their capital. So, with them already starting any invasion, and then eventually all out, and then they spearhead towards Minsk, and then soon Belarus surrenders. And right then and there, Russia declares the war. So, with this, Latvia needs some allies, since Russia's already threatening their capital. So, they managed to get Finland, Sweden, Norway, Germany, Ukraine, Italy, Austria, Czechia, France, the UK, Portugal, and Spain. So with this already feels like that NATO has been activated, but it's missing Denmark and the Benelux region. So technically NATO's not activated. And I wouldn't be using NATO in this video. So with this, with the aid of the other countries and the new manpower of Latvia, Kaliningrad falls with ease, and then the invasion into Russia begins. Already taking over St. Petersburg, and then soon, from the troops in Belarus, they start invading. And then Ukraine pushes out the Russians, and then starts their own invasion. And then soon, they do their naval invasion here, starting any landing near Crimea, and then taking them over. now bordering up with Georgia. And then soon, with the war not even starting, officially, Russia surrenders. So let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty with Belarus and Russia. Belarus got fully annexed, and Kaliningrad got fully annexed. And then nothing happened to the Russian mainland. So with this, they decided that to secure their places, they would invade Ukraine. So, with them already starting the invasion, they already captured Kyiv, and then soon cut them off, capturing Odessa. And then soon, with Ukraine already weak, they surrendered. So let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty with Ukraine. We see them being fully annexed. So what they decide to do next is to invade Czechia and Austria. So right then and there, before they start the invasion, they already surrender, and then they're already annexed. So then with this, they decide to go after Germany now. And then soon, the invasion begins, soon capturing their claims in Poland. And then, they start their invasion into Bavaria, capturing their southern part, and then going all in. And then with the Germans pushing back in the south, recapturing Bavaria, we see Berlin already being captured. And then soon their coastline is gone, making them very weak. And then soon, with capturing Bavaria again, the German troops somewhere in Frankfurt, they decided to surrender. So let's look at the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. So Germany gets fully annexed. So what they decide to do next is that they go over to the Benelux region and demanding to be puppet states. So with them already knowing they're gonna be destroyed, they're gonna have to accept. So the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg become puppet states. And then they gave France an ultimatum saying that they should turn some territory in them and into a puppet state. So with Latvia sending in the ultimatum, they decide that they should give up this part, and then this area becomes Latvian, and then this part becomes the puppet state. So, with that area becoming the puppet state, and then this part of the French area being annexed, they have no choice but to comply with the request. So with Switzerland staying neutral this whole entire time, they send them the ultimatum, and then they haven't heard back. So then they would come back to them, and then they would go over to Italy and then say to them that they're gonna send them the ultimatum. So with the ultimatum already being sent, they said that they would want this area and this area. And then with the Milan and other cities here, they would become a puppet state, while this part, they would become annexed. So right then and there, they have a buffer zone. They have a buffer zone between them and the rest of Western Europe. So then with this, they go over to Russia and asking the same. But then this time, it's a very big ultimatum. Soon, they go over here and then start to drawing the front line. And then soon, they go over to this lake and then cutting them off. soon they're asking this area to become a puppet state. So, with them already threatening Moscow, they have no other option but to comply, as they could take it again. So, with that, this is the Latvian Empire. Hopefully y'all liked the video, and I'll see you on the next one.